Oh, yeah. He wasn't here.
I turn it on when I feel it.
I was down for 24 hours. But then they said to me, because I'm Jesus and compromised, I had to get a full shot. I was not happy. But I think as long as they're vaccinated, you know, I'm not worried about, to me, it's pretty like the team.
Jim, do you have
You
to
know,
read something?
eventually.
Oh, yeah?
I hear you figure out that, I know people want to.
I'm sorry, my hearing aid.
Do I have to read anything?
No, no, no. The only thing I wanted to ask, I don't remember seeing anything there about the amount to be a big thing.
Right.
I don't think there's an amount filled in. You know, when we get to that, it's,
Well, you can make
there
some,
is
but
something after we vote for that, you might have to sign.
Okay, I think I
Yeah,
signed, yes.
did you see in the packet, there's two,
I did, I saw the two
Okay.
forms, and I didn't know if it was their.
yeah, that'll be afterwards. I don't know if we're gonna do that tonight, or you might have to come to the office.
Well, this I was with my husband and my mother-in-law. I was, oh, I have a bill. Well, when I was sick, I was bad. Now I'm better, it's fine.
Table's about 8 inches too long.
I know. Just need a bigger room.
Yeah, well, he wants the office too big, that's the problem.
Yeah, too big for the superintendent.
Yeah. Could move the wall over.
No.
That's the problem.
Do you want this one?
Yeah, give it to me. Luann, we had a motion made at 6:36 by Brian, the second from Terry. So we need to take a vote now.
A vote to come out, closed session.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right. Then we got the agenda. Any changes?
Yes. I have a few changes to the agenda. Under consent agenda, non-certified personnel recommendations, we are adding letter D, Gary Nickel, Nickell, for hire as a food van driver.
Did you say you're adding?
Adding it, yes.
Because he's already on there.
It may not be in the first draft. I added it later this afternoon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
Okay.
added it this afternoon when I got the email that we had an applicant. And I am going to ask to table under new business board policy updates, first reading, letter D. Second page. We had new policy come out. There's some, I don't want to say confusing stuff. There are a couple items I'd like to get clarification on before I bring it to the board. So I'll bring that back next month. So I'm asking to table that for right now.
Okay.
Other than that, the agenda should be set.
So the motion is that the Board of Education approves the amended agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Great. Approval of previous minutes.
Motion is the Board of Education approves the minutes of the regular Board of Education meeting from October 18th, 2021.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, then the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we need a roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, communication, public comments. I don't
We have two people signed up,
I don't have
so
the. All right, public participation at Board of Education
you don't
meetings.
have to read that all.
I know, and petitions of board. I'm not going to read the whole thing again. You're to address the board only at the appropriate time, which we will call the names off here. Identify yourself. It says be brief. We would like to keep the comments to 3 minutes. And we'll alert you when you're getting close to your 3 minutes.
I put it up on the board. I
What?
put it on the board. We're getting fancy.
The
Turn around.
minutes.
Oh,
Yeah, they'll know that.
okay.
Ms. Smell, you're up.
Me?
Yep.
I signed up late.
It's like the price is right. You know, they bid $1 on you, so go ahead.
I'm Charlie Belton. I have 2 children at the junior high, 1 son and 1 daughter. I would like to talk about PE. There's been a lot of time spent in the last few meetings talking about where the kids take their clothes off and who gets to see them take their clothes off and making sure it's only the right people. And I think that instead of partitions, which would cost money, and then you'd have to bid it out, and then there'd be construction time, and then maybe a giant inflatable rack, and the whole mess, that we can just stop making the children take their clothes off in order to pass a class. If they really stunk that bad after 1 PE class, then their gym clothes would have to be washed every night, and they're not. The uniforms don't reek that bad, and it would be free, immediate. It would not step on anyone's parental rights or civil rights. It wouldn't take any side politically. And you could get the whole thing over with and dropped. If we just drop the uniform mandate and leave it voluntary, kids can change or shower if they feel like they need to just stop forcing the children to undress in front of each other at all. That's it.
Thank you very much. Jennifer, you're up.
Jennifer Vandermoen. I am here to present a petition from parents, students, and community members who would like the board to consider a lawsuit that has been put forward by Thomas DeVore for school districts to join at no cost to the school district. At no cost to the school district, and the parents can't do it. It has to be the school district. So I have a petition here signed by 160 members of the community, students, and parents. We would like you to consider this. And that's really all I have to say on that. I wrote up a whole thing that you all can read that is much more detailed. Also, I noticed that there is a change to the LGBTQ policy. Is that something that's going to be voted on tonight, or is that something that the parents and community are going to be able to see before it is voted on? If it is being voted on tonight, we would ask that you please let us see it before you do vote on it. Also, does each school board member have an email? And if so, can it please be posted so that if we have a question or concern that we want to bring to the school board to possibly, or at a question to a specific school board member, that we could reach out to them? And also, when questions are asked publicly, is there a way that we can have them answered publicly? I don't know if it can be posted on the school's website or something, but I feel if they're asked publicly, they should be answered publicly rather than a private email, which is usually how I receive my answers.
Thank you both. We'll certainly take both of those into consideration. All right, good news from around the district.
I just wanted to let the board know the transitional first grade teacher came to me today and was showing me some of the data that she's collecting, some of the assessment data. She's doing some benchmark testing, and it's looking really, really promising. So I just wanted to pass that along. That was a position that was created this year in light of everything that the learning loss due to COVID. But I wanted everyone to know the students there are receiving a lot of different services, a lot of interventions, and the results. This Friday will be midterm of second quarter. So about a third of the way into the year, it's really looking effective. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for allowing us to create that class, because what I see so far is I believe it's going to be life-changing for those students in there. So I just wanted to pass that good news along and say thank you very much.
Mr. Cassid?
Last time I told him I spoke, I wasn't heard, so I nothing really more to add. Just wanted to point out again the fifth grade Veterans Day concert that was held last Thursday at the high school auditorium went well, even with the slight hiccup we had with trying to get a live stream up and running. There were some freezing of blocking of issues or whatever, but I was able to at least stream it from my phone through the program that Joel had. So overall, everyone, we got good reviews from that as well, and had allowed an additional viewers on that part.
Mr. Robbins?
If anyone had a chance to look at the north side of the junior high, you'll notice a 25-foot octagon back there made out of treated lumber. That is called a Gaga ball pit. It is a game that the kids really enjoy. It's kind of a combination of dodgeball, but it's not, you're not throwing the ball, you're just allowed to hit it with your hands down low. So Mr. Rodriguez came to me shortly after the beginning of the year with an idea. We had a school dance, and then we were able to use the funds from that to buy all the equipment. So the Gaga ball pit has been very successful. The kids enjoy playing it. It has made supervising lunch recess 1,000 times easier because every kid goes to it to play during that time. But I just wanted to thank Mr. Rodriguez. Mark Cruz came and did some help. The city of Morrison came and dug the holes for us to set the post. And once again, Mr. Rodriguez was there. And a few other community members that came to make that possible. So the kids are really enjoying it. We've had a lot of questions of what the heck are you building back there? But that's what it is. It's been great. Really getting kind of cold now to go outside for the recess time, but it's being utilized during school hours and also after school hours as well. So it's been a great thing back there for not only junior high students, but a lot of students in Morrison.
Mr. Beulah?
Just one thing to add. This past Friday, the high school hosted over 24 veterans in a Veterans Day assembly. Our FFA program served lunch to these veterans. In the assembly, we had songs and stories and such to kind of celebrate and remember those that have served. I think it went over well with our students and staff, and hopefully our veterans enjoyed that as well, and something that we're looking to build as we can open up and become a little bit more freer as far as inviting the public and getting people into the buildings and such. So just kind of wanted to share what we did Friday there.
Thank you. You have a copy of the finance and facility report in your packet. One of the questions that has come up concerning facilities is the high school stadium. We are working on replacing those bleachers and hope to have that done certainly by football season of next year, and hopefully have it done as soon as possible for the upcoming track season. So if you had questions or if anybody had said anything to you about that, that's been brought up by a couple people, but that is on the agenda to do. We are still planning on using a state grant. 2 years ago, we applied for a $50,000 matching grant, and that will be used to help pay for that as well.
And that's going to include the retaining wall and the track.
I haven't seen it will not include the track.
Okay.
That's a separate project. I haven't seen the completed plans. I know the architect was out last week to take additional measurements. So I'm hoping that
Okay.
we are investigating changing the HVAC system at the junior high. If you remember, that's a 20-year-old system. It does not provide for air conditioning in the big gym. We've had some moisture issues. So Mark came out and looked at that in this fall too. So we're looking at possibly using ESSER funds to help upgrade the HVAC and create some better air quality as well.
Okay. All right.
Enrollment report. I'm happy to announce our enrollment is up 21 students from this time last year. We're up 3 students from last month, so we are inching our way up to that 1,000 student marker again. We're at 979 throughout the day. So, more kids is always a good thing. Mr. Schaefer, did you want to mention anything?
Yeah,
technology-wise?
just one thing. At the parent-teacher conference tonight, the Thursday night, I hosted a live in-person and online session for technology for parents. Unfortunately, no parents were able to attend either session. However, I did record a video showing how to navigate through Skyward Family Access, how to enable Guardian summaries or alerts through Google Classroom, and also some general navigation tips through our website, because I know that's some people have had trouble finding some documents and things that we post on our website. It's a little bit of a long video, but it kind of shows what I feel is a pretty good synopsis of some of the more important things technology wise that parents should be looking at on a pretty consistent basis. So please feel free to check out our Facebook page. You'll see a link to the YouTube video and take a look at that to get some ideas on what to look for our technology for your kids.
Is that something that'll stay on the website for easy access for future years?
I don't have it on the website right now. I've just posted the link on our Facebook page, but I definitely can put it on the website so people can take a look at it, have an easier space to find it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, non-resident tuition waiver, excuse me. We discussed this last month. This would be a waiver process to allow current staff members, students to attend the district tuition free. I'm happy to report that process is moving along. I have tentatively set the hearing as part of that process as part of the next board meeting on December 13th. I have letters ready to go out to our local representatives as per the process. And it will be publicized in the Sentinel according to the timeline, and we have to notify the Morrison Education Association of this as well. So that is moving forward. Copy of the waiver, it's pretty standard form, is included in your board packet. But as I said, we're moving forward with that unless there's any objection at this time. And this would be a 5-year waiver starting with the 22-23 school year, starting with next school year. As mentioned earlier, you have a copy of the LGBTQ policy. This is just a summary of what our policy will be in regards to these students. I will publicize that for everyone to take a look at tonight. We will not be voting on that tonight. That will be voted on next month. If you have questions as it pertains to, please feel free to let me know. Possibly put a comments section out there too. I can work with Mr. Schaefer and try and get that up too so the public can share their ideas and thoughts too. This has been reviewed by the attorney with some grammatical or some wording choices that have been changed, but if there's no concerns, I'll release that to the public and then they can make comments and then the board can make a informed decision next time. Our next item under old business is the memorial policy. This will be an action item. The motion is that the Board of Education approves the district memorial policy as presented.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? Discussion.
You remember this was brought forth last month by Mr. Bielma. Seemed to get a lot of support from the board. Questions before we take a vote? Okay.
No, that's pretty straightforward. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, girls' basketball uniform purchase.
I will read the motion, and then after we get a second, I'll explain what the deal is with this. The motion is the Board of Education approves the purchase of 22 girls' basketball uniforms for the cost of $5,698.
So moved.
You approved this purchase earlier. Unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, we went back and Miss Grimm felt like she needed a couple more uniforms, so she had added to it. So the purchase price increased. I felt it was probably in our best interest to take another vote. I think it's an increased cost.
Yeah, if you look at the itemized statement, I think it's
Yes, they added 2 additional uniforms.
home and away. All right, we'll need a roll call vote.
Yes.
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 Item E, FMLA maternity leave request. This is an updated item. The motion is that the Board of Education approves the FMLA maternity leave request of teacher number NS 11448.
Do I have a motion? I'll move.
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, all in favor? Oh, no. Let's do a roll call on this.
Yes.
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 Yes. New business.
All right, so we have the tentative 2021 district levy. This is an action item. I'll explain. I'll go over it. Move on. So the motion is that the Board of Education approves the tentative 2021 district levy as presented.
I'll need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Okay, so we are, the good news is that the tax rate more than likely will go down from last year to this year. The bad news is our EAV only went up by less than a percentage. So we are only looking at an increase of revenue of just a few $100,000, I should say a few $100,000. That's the equalized assessed value of all the property in the
Okay.
district.
Gotcha.
So when you get your tax bill, that's where that's, so we're We're looking at with a balloon, because we always balloon our levy, we had 5%, which is the cap towards the end to make sure that if the EAV comes in higher than expected, we capture those dollars. We're looking at a tax rate of 5.7634. I'm anticipating it to be more in the 4.74, which I guess I misspoke, is a slight increase from the year before. In terms of outstanding bond payments, that will decrease as we will again abate the 2017 alternative revenue bonds, or excuse me, 2019. And we'll pass a motion on that later tonight as well. The 0.85% increase in EAV is the smallest since 2011. Prior to that, we've averaged about 4.28% over the last 10 years. This is not good news. Questions? Again, this is a tentative. This will change. We will do a truth in taxation hearing at the next board meeting because we are asking for a 5% increase, although we're not expecting the increase to be 5%. We have that thing at the end, which is standard practice for a lot of districts.
Right. We'll do the roll call.
Yes.
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 The next item is the tax abatement resolution. The motion is that the Board of Education approves the tax abatement resolution as presented.
Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
So we will be abating $403,679, which is our bond
How
payment.
much was it?
$403,679. That will come off of our levy. That will not be passed along to the taxpayers.
Okay. That was the only thing that was missing from this.
Well, that comes right from the
Yeah.
bond people.
We'll need a roll call though.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right. Social emotional handbook discussion.
Okay.
item.
So part of the new state standards include social emotional standards. And Mrs. Royer, who's actually in attendance, has done a fantastic job creating a social emotional committee for our students. And they have developed this handbook as to how we are going to help our students with social emotional needs as we move forward. As we know, COVID has done a lot socially and emotionally for our students, as well as academically. But this is a product of lots of work, time and effort by Mrs. Royer and her committee, so thank them for that. You want to add anything?
No, it's just very detailed.
Mm-hmm.
Passed around for comment, internally, comment.
On the committee are the principals.
I know there was a training. Was it this weekend? Is this related to this? Okay. Oh, okay.
Not directly related, but it does encapsulate all of that.
Okay.
Questions? All right, we will bring that back for approval next month as well. Item E, prearranged absence requests. We have three motions here. First motion is that the Board of Education approves the prearranged absent request of student number 202183.
Second. Any discussion on any of these? We could probably package these, couldn't we?
If you'd like to do that, we can do
Yeah,
that.
just put them together.
All right. The second motion is the Board of Education approves the prearranged absent request of student number 3000007, and that the board approves the prearranged absent request of student number 2300019.
All right, now let's do the motion. Do I have a motion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Laptop release.
The motion is the Board of Education approves the release of 47 250 G5 laptops for resale.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So these
Okay.
are older machines that teachers have used. We will offer the person whose laptop it was the opportunity to purchase it on their own. Once that process has passed, we will release it to the community as a whole for resale.
Dwayne, are these the ones that we replaced this summer?
What do you think? What did you say you were thinking?
We'll discuss that. Just make sure on the price.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there.
Okay, I've got an idea in my head.
Okay.
Yeah. How about a roll call vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. And the last thing was certified staffing.
Motion is that the Board of Education approve the hiring of Joplin Sell as the 2021-2022 play musical supervisor.
Motion?
That does recall,
Is that,
that's money. So-
immediate?
Yes,
Okay.
you will need to
Okay.
vote roll call on that.
Roll call vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, if there's no other business, then we'll vote for adjournment. Have a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?